I hope I have your attention because of the title. What if I told you that Ethereum cycle peak is in? What if I told you that during this correction that we've had in February, basically about two weeks after I went majority cash, what if I told you that the attitude of people, their actions basically, is very similar to what I witnessed at the start of 2022, when we were actually declining, and then we were due for a first bear market rally, which happened in March in 2022. And what if I told you that the cycle peak is not made by the price hitting some line on the chart which some greedy influencer who wants to farm you, some greedy influencer drew? What if I told you that the cycle peak is not made that way? What if I told you the cycle peak is made when it's just nobody left to buy? What if I told you that for the moment there is nobody left to buy? And probably there won't be until we will have or we will be approaching approval of the Bitcoin reserves, national reserves. Then yes, we could say that maybe the hype associated with that is going to cause lots of countries to buy in, lots of US states to buy in, and the US using the taxpayers' money basically as well. But what if I told you that they will not be approved this year? This video will be really just about what ifs. What if it's not going to be this year? I know that around the mid of the year, first of all, we are gonna have in the end of March, we're gonna have a first news where they will bring to the President Trump, they will bring the first concrete findings of basically how much ready is the framework for the national reserves to happen. How much ready is it? And but these news are not likely to be good news. They are likely to be bad news, because, well, let's leave it at that, okay? That would take far too long to explain, but you can ask me in the comments if you want. So that's going to be the first news that we have near the end of March, and then we're gonna have in the mid of the summer, we're gonna have basically the deadline for them to basically change the framework, basically to make everything ready for the Bitcoin national reserves to happen. But what if this time is not gonna be enough? And what if you are going to hear in March that they are asking for more time, that they are asking for maybe not another 3 months, but maybe for a year, that they are gonna be asking for a year to actually change the framework. And also, like, to my knowledge, there has to be discussion in the Senate. Discussion can be very back and forth. The Democrats are going to be, but they have majority, right? The Republicans have the majority in the Senate, but still, like, it's not gonna be likely just like that. But let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm perfectly open to have still a very good news regarding to the Bitcoin national reserves narrative, and I'm perfectly fine to to have a beautiful rally somewhere coming to the mid of the year when the deadline is basically expiring. So basically, like, actually in Q2, I'm perfectly fine, I'm open to that. But what if I told you that before that can happen, or before anything really good can happen, we have to see Jim Cramer flipping bearish again? What if I told you that when we had the correction now in February, what if I already debunked the misinformation? Everybody's lying to you guys. Everybody's lying. I already debunked the misinformation that it was the largest liquidations, because I debunked it on the video. And additionally, I also found a news back from May 2021, and arguably there was 8 billion cryptos liquidated during that liquidation cascade in May 2021. 8 billion, and we had 2.3 billion this time. And the guys are lying to you, saying that this right now it was the biggest. Holy. But the first thing I saw when I saw that correction was Capo being bullish. What if I told you, that before we can really rebound, I mean, sure, we can bounce to Ethereum 3300, but before we can talk about continuation of the cycle, what if I told you that Capo is going to say that we are bearish and the cycle's over and we have Corona style crash next? My man did it again. He did it again. I don't know how he does it. My man did it again. What if I told you all of these things that I've just mentioned and more? But what if I told you that the equities are due for a correction, and that is due to start this quarter? What if I told you that Bitcoin usually crashes triple the amount of what the S&P does, and it can crash only double as much during the special circumstances? It was very rare when Bitcoin crashed only double. Bitcoin normally crashes triple. So for every 10% of the S&P 500 correction, Bitcoin crashes 30%. And altcoins usually crash double the Bitcoin. So double the Bitcoin is like 60% for ETH, and that is already close, or it's already there. But we're talking about the bottom of the liquidation cascade that we've had recently. We're not talking 2800 Ethereum like it is today. We're talking 2100 Ethereum, or somewhere there. That's what we're talking about. And for Bitcoin, we're talking, my area of 80 to 90,000. Let's average it out, like on average mid-80s. And Bitcoin is 100,000 today still, 98. So what if I told you all of these? What if I told you all of these things? What if I told you that if you have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the influencers to tell you that we're bearish and you should sell now, that this is the top? What if I told you that you've been all waiting in an absolute wane?